A very good evening to all the dignitaries and participants present here. I wish you a very happy Independence Day. If you take care of your mind, you take care of the world. Whatever we do, how we react, depends on and has an impact on our state of mind. Our physical fitness is connected with our mental well being. It is important, especially in the present times when there is a social barrier between us. Though we can have FaceTime, but the emotional connect is broken. So, I hope today's webinar on mental well being will be interesting, interactive, and informative for all of us. Today, I, Sneha Tyagi,
And I, Samriddhi Puhuja.
welcome you as moderators of the webinar.
Let's start this event by remembering the Almighty and chanting the pious Gayatri Mantra. I would request all of you to close your eyes, join your hands, and start the Gayatri Mantra.
Let's start the DAV anthem. I request all of you to not share your screens.
Now, let's welcome our visionary principal ma'am to enlighten us with her inspiring words.
Thank you so much, and a warm welcome to all the students and teachers who have joined us at ML Khanna DAV Public School on Independence Day. I also take this opportunity to wish all of you a very happy Independence Day. Just this morning, we had a virtual assembly that was conducted by the students, and over 2,000 students of our school joined that assembly. Students are the backbone not only of any school but of the nation. And dear students, it is the way that you think that is important and that is actually going to make or break whatever happens in the future. It is your thought process that would help in constructing the vision for tomorrow's India and tomorrow's world. It is so important that we have a sound mind on our healthy shoulders, because if that mind is not healthy, then the thoughts, of course, will be affected. I am so happy that the Generation Global Club of the school has thought of such an important topic for this online discussion that is based on mental health, our priority. I congratulate the teachers associated with this club and, of course, the students who are so wonderfully taking these discussions forward. Without taking much time, I again welcome all of you to this program, and I hope to see a wonderful discussion amongst all the students of different schools who are here joining us on this online platform. Thank you once again, and God bless us all.
Thank you, ma'am, for your illuminating words.
Today's webinar is divided into 3 rounds so that we can have in-depth knowledge of the topic mental well-being, our priority. Round 1, expression. In this round, the speakers will be sharing their opinions, views, experiences with all of us. Round 2, interaction. In this round, the participants will be interacting and asking questions to each other for better understanding of the topic. Round 3, sharing and reflections. In this round, the students will be sharing their reflections with all of us. You can tell anything you liked, thing which seems interesting to you, or your takeaways from this webinar.
We have 5 schools for today's webinar. The host school is ML Khanna DAV Dwarka. We also have DAV Public School Jasola Vihar, DAV Multi-Purpose Public School Sonipat, DAV Model School Sector 15 Chandigarh, DAV Centenary Public School Narela for today's webinar. A quiz can help us to introspect. You all will find a link in the chat box using which you can attempt a short quiz and check your mental well-being level. I hope you all can see the link. You all can use this code to attend the quiz. I request all the participants to be quick. You all can click on the link given in the chat box and then enter the game code displayed on the screen. I request all the participants to be quick in joining. You can either use the link or the game code displayed on the screen. I again request the participants to be quick in joining the quiz. I repeat, you can either use the link or the game code displayed on the screen to attend the quiz.
Ma'am, it is not starting.
It will begin when all the participants are there. I request more participants to join. Please be quick. I request everyone present here to join. You all need to be quick in answering the questions in order to be at the top of the leaderboard. Well, that was a good way to check our stress levels. I congratulate the winners Harsh Pratap, Srija, and Onkar Kapoor. Before moving ahead, I would like all the participants to kindly pay attention to the rules of the webinar. I request all of you to keep your video off and microphone muted when you are not speaking. Post your questions in the chat box along with your name and your school's name for the interaction round, but don't put the answers to the questions in the chat box. I repeat, don't put the answers to the questions in the chat box. You can pin the screen of the presenter to view the session uninterrupted.
Round 1, Expression. Before moving ahead, I would like to tell you the sequence you will be following for answering the question. We will begin with DAV Jasola, followed by DAV Sonipat. Thereafter, the speakers of DAV Dwarka will share their views. Then, DAV Model School Chandigarh will express their views, followed by the participants of DAV Narela. So, let's move ahead. The first question of the webinar is, how would you define the term mental well-being? So let's begin with DAV Dasola.
Mental health is not a destination but a process. It's about how you drive, not where are you going. Good evening to one and all present here. Today, I, Mantasha of DAV Public School, Jasola Vihar, is going to put forward my views on the topic how will you define or explain mental well-being. It is defined as a state of well-being in which every individual realizes his or her own potential, can cope with normal stresses of life, and are able to contribute to his or her society, as said by WHO. Good mental well-being is not the absence of negative thoughts and feelings. We all face difficult and challenging situations that makes us to feel anger, frustrated and overwhelmed. Instead, it's about being able to understand and manage those problems in your real life. Nowadays, people are dying by suicide. What makes them do suicide? Aren't they happy with what they have? Actually, the main reason is mental illness, and this mental illness is developed by us and our society. Society never look at themselves what they had done. People just suppressed the one who is not like them and kept on criticizing them, which made them feel that they are hopeless and worthless in this competitive world. They start lacking self-love and are not able to relieve the pain other than ending up their own life. In India, people hesitate to talk about mental illness. They feel embarrassed when they discuss this topic in society and think how society will react. Depression and anxiety in our society is rising with a high speed because of several reasons, like family pressure, burden of work, lack of self-confidence, and many more things. And in the last, I just want to say that there are no visible symptoms, just a head full of darkness, no fever or rash, no fractures or sprains, just longing for something unable to explain. Thank you, and that's all from my side.
Thank you. Now I would like to invite the speakers of DAV Sonipat to answer the question.
So, a healthy mind is the greatest treasure to find, which is beautiful line. I wish a very good evening to Honorable Principal Ma'am, respected teachers, and my dear friends. I am Onkar of class 912 from DAV Multipurpose Public School, Sonipat, here to give my views on the topic mental well-being are priority. So basically, mental wellness refers to behavioral and emotional well-being. It is all about how people think, feel, and behave. Sometimes people use the term mental health to mean the absence of mental disorder. It also affects our daily living, relationships, and our wellness is also an essential component of our health. Now, according to me, we should add mental well-being to our priority list because mental wellness is an important part of our life which impacts our thoughts, behavior, and emotions. Mental wellness also promote effectiveness and promote in our ineffectiveness to our to the to the to the inactivities like work, school, and caregiving. It plays an important role in our life and also allows us to adapt problems in our life. Our mental health also contributes to our decision making and how we can cope with the stress. There is a wonderful saying about mental health that is to be healthy as a whole, mental wellness plays a big role. As nowadays we can see the pandemic has made everyone stay at home and work from home. During this lockdown period, parents are pressurizing their children to work more and more and study more and more. But the children don't need to do and don't want to do so much. So all of them need to be well maintained mentally. So now let's discuss some invaders of mental health. First is a neurological condition or a head injury which comes in a physical cause. So next can be depression, peer pressure, racism, feeling loneliness, unemployment, a long-term physical condition, and many more. Now let's discuss some points for attaining mental wellness. Spend some quality time with your friends and family. Do more and more hard work. Get at least 8 hours of sleep. Listen to active music. Laugh more and more. So now I just want to end my speech with a beautiful line. Never give up on someone with mental illness. When I is replaced by we, illness becomes wellness. So thank you. Have a nice day.
Now, let's have participants of Devi Dwarka to respond to the questions.
Good evening, everyone. Today, I, Cheshta of class 9, would like to share my views on mental well-being. बन्धुरात्मात्मनस्तस्य येनात्मैव आत्मनार्जितः अनात्मनस्तु शत्रुत्वे वर्तेतात्मैव शत्रुतम्. The shlok is from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, verse 6. It states that for one who has conquered his mind is the best of friends, but for one who has failed to do so, his mind is the greatest enemy. According to me, mental well-being refers to a conscious awareness about oneself. It refers to the way one manages successes and failures. It is a way of being self-satisfied and confident. Self-acceptance, personal growth, and autonomy are also key elements of mental well-being. It is a way of befriending ourselves and our experiences. For example, I participated in many competitions but was not able to win. So instead of stop participating in competitions, I practiced more and tried to find out my mistakes. Realizing our full potential and doing work more productively are also a part of mental well-being. Thank you. That's all from DAV Dwarka.
Thank you. Now, I would like to invite the speakers of DAV Chandigarh to share their opinions.
Take risk in your life. If you win, you can lead, and if you lose, you can guide. So, a very good evening to everyone present here. My name is Vrishti Jaswal, and according to me, mental health is an integral part of our overall health. Society often thinks of health as biological or physical, but in general, it is a state of thriving in various areas of life, such as in relationships, at workplace, and more, despite ups and downs. It's the knowledge that we are separate from our problems and the belief that we can handle those problems. And also, according to the World Health Organization, mental health is a state of well being in which the individual realizes his or her own potential, can cope with normal stresses of life, can work productively, and is able to make a contribution to his or her own community. Apart from this, there is a very good saying that mental health is not a destination but a process. It's about how you drive, not where you're going. So, thank you, everyone. And now, my friend Divanshi would like to throw some light on it.
Mental health needs a great deal of attention, the final taboo, and it needs to be faced and dealt with. According to me, mental well-being is not just a concept that refers to an individual's psychological and emotional well-being. Rather, it's a state of emotional and psychological capabilities meet the ordinary demands and functions in the society. It also impacts the way we think, feel, and act, making it important in all areas of life. Mental health plays an important role in the way we deal with stress, relate to others, and decisions we make in our daily lives. Thank you. That's all from the AV Chandigarh.
Now, I will like to invite the participants of the
Health is wealth. Your mental health is a priority. Your happiness is an essential. Your self care is a necessity. Hello everyone, today Anjali from DV Narela going to talk about that what is mental health. Creating a healthy mindset is an investment in our overall well-being. Health is important for the development of country. The World Health Organization defines health as mental, social, physical and spiritual well-being and not merely the absence of a disease and infirmity. Mental health is a level of psychological well being and an absence of mental illness. It is a state of someone who is functioning at a satisfactory level of emotional and behavioral adjustment. Accord, from the perspective of positive or of holism, mental health may include an individual's ability to enjoy its life and create a balance between life activities and efforts to achieve psychological resilience. The World Health Organization defines mental health that includes subjective well-being, competence, self-efficacy, autonomy, intergenerational dependence, and self-actualization of one's intellectual and emotional potential, among others. It is a foundation of well-being of an individual and effective functioning of community. The WHO further states that well-being of an individual is encompassed in realization of efforts coping with the normal stresses of life, productivity at work, and contribution to the community. Mental health has an impact on educational outcome, productivity at work, development of positive personal relationship, crime rate. Thank you so much for being a patient listener. Now I would like to pass my mic to my friend Barsha, who will make this concept more clear to you.
Everybody has it. It can fluctuate from good to poor and need to take care of it. A very good evening to one and all present here. This is Barsha from DAV Narela. Today I am going to talk about good mental health and science of mentally well-being. There is no universally accepted definition for mental well-being. Good mental might have a different meaning to each of us. Like, for some, it may be the notion of happiness or contentment. For others, it may be the absence of disease. For some, it may be the economic prosperity. It could be based on the goals sought to be achieved and the challenges placed on an individual. It also may mean the absence of negative determinants in the life of an individual or a community. Mental well-being includes cognitive, emotional, and behavioral responses at a personal level. Some may also interrupt mental well-being as determined by external stimulates and factors, sometimes beyond the control of individuals, such as housing and employment. Thus, mental well-being interrupted in the social cultural context of the individual. Signs of mentally well-being: the ability to learn, to feel, to express, and to manage a range of positive and negative emotions. The ability to form and maintain good relationships with others. The ability to cope with many stress and uncertainty. Now, I'm going to end my words with a beautiful quote by Russell Wilson. If we start being honest about our pain, our anger, and our shortcomings instead of pretending they don't exist, then maybe we will leave this world a better place than we found it. Now, my friend Khushi is going to recite her self-composed poem on good mental health. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Today, I, Khushi from DAV Narela, is present with my greetings for all. Today, I am going to recite my self-composed poem on good mental health, a precious milestone. Our mental health is full of strength, full of pleasure and happiness. But some people were left behind, unable to understand what is right. They fall in depression and waste their lives. Depression is a battle against yourself. It steals everything you have. But you have to understand, everything is okay. Don't be sad. Why don't you go to tell someone? May they brighten your day. Don't bottle up your feelings. Don't keep them locked away. You have to make a change. As you know, rainbow comes from rain. Even in this pandemic, you are not alone.
Just remember to be happy and you will came across. You have to fight every day, but love yourself anyway. Remember, you are the author of your life. If you think you can't cope, don't put the full stop. Battle through it with your hope. Take every step with patience and knowledge, memorizing that you are the best. In the end, I would like to say some people believe to be strong means to never feel pain. But in reality, to be strong means to accept, feel, and understand. This is all from D.A.V. Narela for this question.
Thank you. The poem was beautiful. The next question is, why do we need to add mental well being to our priority list? I request all of you to mention the reasons because of which you feel that mental well being should be our priority. You all can share your personal experiences, give some examples for the questions. Let us begin with DAV Jasola.
Hello everyone, I am Avika from DAV Public School Jasola Vihar. So now that we know what actually mental well-being is, let's come to the point that why should we add mental well-being to our priority list? We all believe in one thing, that health is very important and it's our priority, right? So as health is our priority, we think that we should eat healthy food, have diet charts and do some exercises. This is all physical, but we never actually think about the mental health and well being. A healthy mind resides in a healthy body. That's very, very true. But we never try to take out time to think about our emotions. We never try to question ourselves like, am I able to manage all the things well and good? Am I emotionally strong enough to accept the changes going around me? And should I put this mental well being as a priority? So, today, let's try answer them all. Mental well being should definitely be our priority because it's all about our daily life and choices. And without a good mental well being, we'll not be able to cope up with the normal difficulties of life. We all have to face ups and downs, and we have good moments and difficult situations too. Let's take an example of the present situation we are facing. In this pandemic time, we all are locked up in our homes. And initially, we were scared, feeling overwhelmed and hesitating, and were having thoughts like, how will we continue our lives now? And it is justified to feel bad. But the person who will try to manage all these things in a new way and fight the situation with his positive thoughts, he is the person who actually knows the importance of the mental well being. I was also thinking like these online classes, that's not my thing. They are too different from the physical classes that we used to have at school. But with time, we all accepted the change and are managing to study in a very new and a different way that we never thought of. So problems like this come every day. We just need to face it with strong mental power, realize our own potential, and come out to the world. And keeping the mental well-being as a priority, we'll be able to work fruitfully and we'll be contribute more to the society. And this mental well-being will keep us away from problems like depression, stress, anxiety. And these problems are too far away if we start taking initiative today. Say confidently to yourself that you are the best and you can do anything. Nobody's caging you. Do whatever you want that makes you and the world happy. So think about the world. If everybody start thinking about mental well-being, it will be so nice to see a world full of happiness. This is all from my side. Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing your views. Now let's hear to the participants from DAV Sonipat.
Good morning to all. I repeat of class 9 from KV Multipurpose Public School. I'm going to share my views why mental health is important for us. Mental health is important because it's a virtual part of behavior and emotions. Being healthy emotionally can promote productivity and effectiveness. In activity, to change our and cope with adversity. I want to tell some examples. Not a good man, then we may anger with our families or relatives. So the families not respond us every time because we do the bad behaviors because we get angry at every time. So we in the mental health our potential also comes. So when we are mental well-being, then only we can bring a good relationship between our families and do a good work for our society and for our world. Thank you. This is all from my side.
Thank you. Let's move ahead and listen to the participants from DAV Dwarka.
Hello everybody. Today I Prakhar Jha will share my views on mental well-being. I agree with Mansha that mental health is not a destination but a process. It's about how you drive and not where you are going. But why is it our priority? Why everyone tries to achieve this? What are its benefits? We will discuss them all. Mental health is the cytoskeleton of all our decisions, either good or bad. A mentally well person is able to have an all-round development of his skills. Mental well-being is the top endeavor of every individual. As a person with a sound mental health is able to take best of all decisions. He is able to weigh all the options effectively and arrive at a mature decision. Some of its benefits are as follows. Reduction in anxiety. Anxiety is a very bad thing and it needs to be managed from our daily life. It is nothing but our over worries. Anxiety is that pathogen which can destroy your mental health completely. The great advantage of mental well-being is that it reduces the anxieties of a person. Reducing stress will increase an individual's overall productivity at work. Being stressed consumes energy and nutrients, which could otherwise be used to protect the body from infectious diseases. Thus, mental well-being is very important for the reduction of anxiety and stress. Logical thinking and clear vision. It is the ability to recognize and analyze questions and statements properly. Clarity helps you find focus and direction. When you have clarity around your goals and priorities, it's easier to move towards what you want in your life. Clarity helps you push through doubts. Whenever you are unfocused, it is normal that you doubt your self-esteem and skills. But a clear mind will surely help you move out of this state. Reduced risk of depression. Depression is a common and serious medical illness. It negatively affects your mind. Decreased depression will increase your work productivity. So we should follow mental well-being for overcoming depression. Mental well-being also leads to improved efficiency and better productivity. It helps in taking logical and right decisions. It makes us capable of working hard. It helps us to handle stress, reduce it, and shoulder all the responsibilities valiantly. It also leads to better physical and emotional health. Thank you. That's all from ML Khanna, DAV Dwarka.
Now I invite the participants from DAV Chandigarh to share their views.
Good evening, all of you. My name is Suhani, and my answer to this question is your mental health should be a priority. Your happiness is an essential, and your self-care is a necessity. It's important to remember that the good things we do for our bodies are also good for our minds. Staying mentally well should be given the same priority as keeping physically fit. Doctors who see patients with both physical and psychological complaints often only address the physical issues, expecting that they are the root cause of both the problems. The good news is that we know treating underlying mental health issues can have a positive effect on physical health. Good health is about more than caring for the body. It is now easier than ever before to add mental health to your self-care checklist. Now my friend Vasudha will share her views on this.
Mental health refers to cognitive behavior and emotional well-being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. It also helps us to determine how we handle stress, relate to others, and make choices. Mental health is important at every stage of life, from childhood and adolescence to adulthood. Thank you.
Is that all from DAV Chandigarh?
Yes.
Okay. Let's have the participants from DAV Narela to reflect.
A sweet and charming good evening to my respected teachers and my dear friends. Today I, Sakshi Khatri of TV Narela, wants to share my views on why should we add mental well-being to our priority list. Good mental health is important for everyone as it helps us to cope with life stresses and reach our goals. Mental health is about how we think, feel and act. When our mental health is good, it helps us to get the most out of life. More than 40 million people suffer from mental disorders. According to the WHO, by the year 2020, depression will constitute the second largest disease burden worldwide. Global burden of mental health will be well beyond the treatment capacities of developed and developing countries. The social and economic costs associated with the growing burden of mental health focus the possibilities for promoting mental health as well as treating and preventing mental illness. Thus, the mental health is linked to behavior and seen as fundamental to physical health and quality of life. The National Institute of Mental Health has a mantra: no health without mental health. Mental health is fundamental to our collective and individual ability as humans to think, emote, interact with each other, earn a living, and enjoy life. On this basis, the promotion, protection, and restoration of mental health can be regarded as a vital concern of individual communities, and societies throughout the world. So, it's up to you today to start making healthy choices. Not choices that are just healthy for your body, but healthy for your mind. That's all from Devi Narela about why should we add mental well-being to our priority list. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's move ahead. Why is mental well-being important in present times? So let's begin with Devi Jasola.
Good evening, everyone. Today, I, Shruti of Devi Public School, Jasola Vihar, is here to put my views on the topic, why is mental well-being essential in present times? WHO defines mental well-being as mental health in which an individual realizes his or her own abilities, can cope up with the normal stresses of life, is able to work productively, and make contribution to his or her own community. In this positive sense, mental health is the foundation of individual well-being and effective working of the community. According to Development of Positive Personal 2020, depression will lead to second largest disease burden worldwide. Global burden of mental illness will be well beyond the treatment capacities of the developed and developing countries. Physical and mental health is closely associated, and it is proved beyond doubt that depression leads to heart and vascular diseases. What are the problems in the implementation of the mental health programs? Stigma is associated with the society, and patients are discriminated in the society in all aspects like education, employment, marriage, etc., which leads to delay in seeking medical advice. Vagueness in concepts of mental health and mental illness leads to diagnostic confusion. People think that mental illness occurs to those who are mentally weak or due to spirits. People have made opinion that mental illness is irreversible. Don't you think this stigma must be removed from the society? There are many ways that can be used to remove this stigma from the society. For example, support to children, organizing skill-building programs, socio-economic empowerment of women, giving access to education and microcredit schemes. For example, friends, emotional and mental health is very much important as it's a vital part of our life and impacts our thoughts, behaviors, and opinions. You should be mentally strong by guiding our thoughts, behaviors, being specific. Being mentally strong can make us productive and effective in work, school, and caregiving. At last, I would just like to say that it is truly said by Glenn Close that what a mental health is required is more sunlight, more candor, and more unashamed conversation. This is all from Devi Jasola. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you. Now, let's hear the opinions of DAV Sonipat.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Shikha from DAV Sonipat from class 9. We have discussed that why should we add mental health to our priority list. Now, let's understand that why mental well-being is important in present time, because emotional and mental health is important because it is a very vital part of our life. It impacts our thoughts and behaviors and emotions. Being healthy emotionally can promote productivity and effectiveness in activities like work, schooling, and creativity. Thank you, and that's all from my side.
Thank you. Now, let's hear the participants of DAV Dwarka.
Worry is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but never gets you anywhere. Good evening, everybody present here. Today, I, Rohan Singh, of Class 9 from ML Khanna DAV Public School, would be elaborating over my thoughts on mental well-being. In the pandemic time, when coronavirus is hovering at its peak, majority of the people are sitting at their home idle, being nothing more than a couch potato. All they are doing is spreading rumors or overthinking about their future. People should know that living in the present is the best medicine they would ever have for their mental well being. So, we should try to stop overthinking and get our feet to some work. It is a fact that even when a machine is not put to work regularly, it malfunctions. The same is in the case of people. Idleness, being the home for mental as well as physical diseases, is very dangerous. If mental exercises are not done regularly, then we may have to suffer from problems such as stress, hypertension, insomnia, as well as depression, which may cause self as well as external harm. According to the studies, physical exercises have profound effects over mental health too. Therefore, doing physical work as well as mental exercises in our home, even during the pandemic time, is very, very important. Thank you. That's all from DAV Dwarka.
Thank you. Now, I would like to invite the participants of DAV Chandigarh to share their opinions.
Good evening, everyone. I am Devanshi, and according to me, mental well-being is very important in present times. The outbreak of COVID-19 can be very stressful. Mental health is something that affects us all during pandemic. We all are worried. We all are worried about COVID-19 and how it could affect our lives. This may include spending a lot of time at home and keeping a safe distance from others. This might feel difficult and stressful. Meanwhile, there are a few things we can do to cope up with the stress. And now my friend Rishti will share her point of view on the topic.
Hello everyone, my name is Rishti and I'm going to reply to the question, why is mental well-being most important in present times? Mental well-being is most important in present scenario because the outbreak of pandemic COVID-19 may be stressful for some people. Fear and anxiety about a new disease and what could happen next can be overwhelming and cause strong emotions in adults as well as in children. Public health actions such as social distancing can make people feel isolated and can also increase stress and anxiety. So, mental well being is most important. So, thank you everyone. That's all from DAV 15.
Now, I would like to invite the participants of DAV Narela to express their views.
Good evening, everyone. I am Bhumi Garg of DAV School Narela. I am going to tell you about why mental health is important in present times. Mental health and mental well-being are the most neglected areas in our country. According to a recent survey of National Mental Health, approximately 100 million people in India need care for their mental health. In today's scenario, life is a challenge, and to overcome all the challenge, we need good physical as well as mental health. The condition of today is life is relentless and expectations are high, which can result in increasing stress level in developing countries like India. Poverty, loss of job, work pressure, education, etc. are another key problems for mental illness. Their problems sometimes leave long-term effect on your mental health. So one must try to restore the natural balance between the stress and relaxation. In today's scenario, time is limited and scarce with lot of work, priorities and deadlines. So here comes the importance of mental health. One should learn relaxation techniques and create health priorities. Sometimes we should forget all the priorities and live in present moment. We should adopt a lifestyle that supports and nurtures us. Unless and until you earn a happy lifestyle, you won't be able to enjoy status and financial rewards. Even the evidences show that a TikTok girl who was just 18-year-old committed suicide due to depression, and a well-known playwright, J.K. Rowling, also suffered from severe depression before becoming famous and battled with suicidal thoughts. This shows that mental health is equally important to lead a happy and successful life. Now I would like to rest my words by saying that life is too short, don't make it shorter. I would like to pass my mic to my friend Daksh, who will be telling you more about this. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Today, I, Daksh Chikara from DV School Narela, would be telling about the importance of mental health during this pandemic, that is COVID-19. Mental health is an important part of overall health and well-being. It affects how a person think, feel and act, how we handle the stress and choice that we make during the emergency. It is normal to be anxious and afraid while we deal with the effects of this pandemic. No doubt that this situation is stressful, but good mental health is precisely one of the key to survive during this pandemic. Lockdown, travel restriction, work from home, and social distancing have created a level of social isolation which is previously unseen across the globe. So taking care of physical and mental health is important. One can adopt different ways such as maintaining a regular schedule, limited exposure to false news, doing the hobbies that can be done at home, and indulging in positive activities. Always maintain a sense of hope and work and change and work as they occur. Maintain your spiritual life that brings comfort to you in difficult times. So we need to be humble, hopeful, kind, and appreciating to those in our lives and what we have in the times of darkness. Celebrating the small wins and appreciating this beautiful world would evoke the positive strength. These are trying times, but these too shall pass, and thus it is a paramount to continue and carry on your daily life happily. That is all from Devi Narila about the importance of mental health during present times. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your views. Before moving ahead, I would like to inform all of you that you can post your questions for the interaction round in the chat box with your name and your school name, but do not answer the questions. The next part of the webinar is you all are requested to mention the thieves or invaders of your mental well being. You all can narrate some personal incidents or share some examples. I would like to begin with DAV Jasola.
Wish you all a very healthy good evening. First of all, I would be proud to wish a very happy 74th Independence Day to everyone. I'm Shivani Kumari from DAV Jasola. Today I am here with the topic. Today I am here with the topic that who are the invaders and thieves of our mental well-being. Before going ahead with my topic, I want to ask a simple question from all of you. Do you really think that anybody can steal our mental well-being, our skills, and knowledge from us? We are the only one who make this thing happen. We only allow our negative points to dominate our positive ones. Poorly managed negative emotions are not good for your health. Negative attitudes and feeling of helplessness and hopelessness can create chronic stress, which upsets the body's hormone balance. So the first factor is negative attitude. We should always be positive. Second factor is loneliness and isolation. There are many reasons for feeling lonely. Some of them are death of your loved one. Some of them are death of your loved ones, living on your own, poor family connection, difficulty in socializing, and feeling like you don't belong to this society. These feelings are normal and usually pass, but if they don't go away, and last for long, you have to visit a doctor. That can have a negative impact on your mental health. Now let's talk about the third one, that is domestic and family violence. When you feel unsafe, powerless, or afraid due to action of someone close to you, that we call it as domestic and family violence. Fight between parents, fight between husband and wife, and members of the family can cause effect to your brain. It is very much important to live in a well-mannered and loving environment. Now the fourth factor is low self-esteem. Living with low self-esteem can harm your mental health and lead to problems such as depression and anxiety. Always be confident on yourself. You can and you will. Always remember, love yourself or nobody will. Last but not the least factor is body fitness. It is very important to be fit. Always have a balanced diet, proper sleep, and regular exercise and walk. Poor physical health can lead to an increased risk of developing mental health problems. Similarly, poor mental health can negatively impact on physical health. At last, I would love to present a beautiful quote by Fred Rogers that anything that's human is mentionable and anything that is mentionable can be more manageable. When we can talk about our feelings, they become more overwhelming, less upsetting, and less scary. That's all from my side. Thank you so much.
Let us now hear to the participants from DAV Sonipat.
Good morning, each one present here. I am Chinchal from DAV Multipurpose Public School. Sonipat is going to present us these on the topics which factors affecting to the mental health. Self-esteem. This is the value we place on ourselves, our positive selves, image, and sense of self-worth. People with high self-esteem generally have a positive outlook and are satisfied with themselves. Most of the time, feeling loved. Children who feel loved, trusted, and accepted by their parents and others are far more likely to have good self-esteem. They are also more likely to feel comfortable, safe. Self-esteem. They are also more likely to feel comfortable, safe, and secure, and are better able to communicate and develop and positive relationship with others. Confidence. Youth should be encouraged to discover their own unique qualities and have to confidence to face challenges and take risks. Family breakup or loss. Separation or divorce or the loss of a parent or sibling is extremely painful. Finding ways to cope and adjust to changes brought by these events is critical for everyone, but particularly for youth. How grief is handled can affect young people negatively for years to come. If children are having difficulty coping profession, help in recommended. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your views. Now, I would like the participants from DAV Dwarka to speak.
Good evening, everyone. Now, I, Chehek Bansal from ML Khanna DAV Public School, will be carrying forward this webinar with my opinions. So, before continuing with this, I would like to share a personal experience with you all. For the rest of the world, it may be a case study, but for me, it's a true incident. To be more accurate, this was witnessed by my aunt or my mother's elder sister. Her marriage was a great event, full of happiness. She stepped into a new phase of her life, but was not happy with the new family. Still, she coped with their behaviors and never showed she was unhappy or stressed. But when this crossed her tolerance level, she decided to get separated from her husband, and unfortunately, this separation didn't allow her to keep children with her. She fell into the pit of depression and felt lonely. After this, she thought of losing everything and failing in her life. My mother made her understand that this was only one portion of her life, but she could not have recognized good times if she didn't have the bad ones. After this, my aunt moved on in her life, married to another person, and lived a healthy, happy life. This incident shows how your own thoughts and mental well-being affects your mental well-being. So your own thoughts affect more than the others. For me, they are the biggest of all invaders. The second intruder of your mental well-being is stress. Stress, which we commonly refer to as tension, seems to worsen or increase the risk of conditions like heart diseases, asthma, depression, anxiety, and many more. So we should always try to avoid it. In Sanskrit also there is a shloka which states the disadvantage of stress. The shloka goes like this. Chintayascha chitayascha bindu matram visheshyate chitadahati nirjeevam chintadahati jeevanam. It means in Sanskrit there is only one difference between the words stress, that is chinta, and chitta, that is funeral pyre. The pyre burns a dead body, but stress burns a living. These two factors, that is our own thoughts and stress, are common between a child, an adult, and an adolescent. But there are some factors that vary from person to person according to age. For a child, being bullied at home, school, or any other place can be the biggest factor of his or her mental well-being. Our own country, India, comes under the highest rate of cyberbullying in the world, along with Brazil and US. For an adult, abuse, sexual harassment, unemployment, family violence, drugs, family relationships, and many more can be the possible reasons. The level of your self-acceptance and self-esteem also affect your mental well-being. Some diseases like brain trauma, brain injury contribute equally. Phones, laptops, television, computers, iPads, and many more play equal role. So these were some of the common factors that affect your mental well-being. Thank you. That's all from DAV Dwarka.
Now, I welcome the participants from DAV Chandigarh to share their opinion.
Mental health needs a great deal of attention. It's final taboo and it needs to be faced and dealt with. Good evening, everyone. I am Vasudha from DAV Chandigarh, and I would like to quote some few causes which disturb our mental health. Genetics play important role in mental imbalance, which can be triggered by stress, abuse, or traumatic events. One of the infections which can be caused is pediatric autoimmune neuropsychiatric disorders due to Streptococcus bacteria, which leads to obsessive compulsive disorders, in which a person has sudden urge to perform repetitive tasks. Brain defects or injuries are also found to be linked with mental illness. Parental damage, like at time of birth, loss of oxygen or blood may lead to factors like autism factor disorders. Substance abuse like poor nutrition, exposure to toxins like alcohol or sedatives like alprazolam also leads to mental illness. Emotional, physical, or sexual abuse, loss of parents, neglect by parents, or environmental factors like death or divorce, dysfunctional family life, feeling of low self-esteem, anger or loneliness, abusive friends or teachers also cause depression or anxiety. Socioeconomic drop down, example, nowadays in COVID era, people losing jobs, sitting at home or even work from home are not interacting with friends, which is leading to depression. Same goes for students, which are spending most of their time in front of screens. Improper sleep, inadequate diet, leading to stress. And if this continues, it may lead to depression for many. Continuous social and economic pressure, like people facing regular downfall in business or social status due to any personal reason, or forced by society undergoes tremendous pressure which can lead to depression. Now, my friend Suhani would like to tell some of the common symptoms which are observed during mental illness.
Signs of mental illness are having consistently low energy, using mood altering substances including alcohol or nicotine like drugs, being confused, experiencing delusions, thinking of physically harming others, unable to complete daily tasks, withdrawing from family and friends, sleeping too much or too little, feeling hopeless. That's all from DAV 15 Chandigarh. Thank you.
Now, let's hear the participants from DAV Narela.
Good evening, everyone. I'll try work, school, or if you observe in a student adhere to poor mental health, depression, child abuse, performance pressure, work pressure, and competition. These all create stresses, depressions, and anxiety, leading to ill mental states. If we observe in general life, people suffer from poor mental health due to lack of joint families, lack of social security, and loss of loved ones. Also, poverty and social isolation are one of the most important causes. Intake of drugs and alcohol also lead to bad mental health. We cannot ignore the physical issues like injury or disability in the body. There is a tendency to give more importance to mental health and physical health. This bias towards the physical may be the fact that diseases can be easily spotted. But poor mental health directly affects physical health and leads to various diseases such as osteoporosis, autoimmune, skin condition, diabetes, obesity, etc. Even in the scenario, evidence that not affect but mental too due to fear and anxiety. Many try to commit suicide, depression, and other emotional stresses increase the risk of suicide. So, no one can deny the fact that good mental health leads to a happy, prosperous, and a balanced life. That's all from me about the illness. Thank you.
Thank you. Now let's move in. Let's discuss some of the ways that can help us to attain mental well-being. So I would request DA Vijayasola to start the proceedings.
Your mental well-being is about your thoughts and feelings and how you cope with the ups and downs of everyday life. A very warm and pleasant evening to one and all present here. Today, I, Sneha Sharma of Class 9 of DA Public School, Jasola Vihar, want to share my views on the topic how to attain mental well-being. We can attain mental well-being by connecting with other people. Good relationships are important for your mental well-being. They can help to build you a sense of belonging and self-worth. Also, it helps you to share positive experiences with others. Second, by being physically active. Being physically active is not only great for your mental well-being,
Evidence also shows that it can also improve your mental well-being by causing chemical changes in your brain, which can positively change your mood. Third, third, by giving to others. Research suggests that acts of giving and kindness can help to improve your mental well-being. Some of the examples are saying thank you to someone for something they have done for you, spending time with your friends or relatives who need your support or company, paying more attention to the present moment. Paying more attention to the present moment can also help to improve your mental well-being. This includes your thoughts, feelings, your body, and the world around you. Some people call this awareness as mindfulness. Fifth, by learning new skills. Research also suggests that by learning new skills, you can also improve your mental well-being by boosting self-confidence and raising self-esteem by helping you to connect with others. We can also attain mental well-being by volunteering in our community, such as helping at a school or a hospital or their home. Our lifestyle also impacts our mental well-being. We should eat a good meal. What you eat nourishes your whole body and your brain. Carbohydrates increases serotonin, a chemical that has been used to have a calming effect on your mood. Proteins helps us to keep alert, and as we know, vegetables and fruits are loaded with nutrients, so help they affect our mood regulating brain chemicals. We should go to bed on time. Sleep deprivation has a significant negative effect on our mood. Try to go to bed at regular time every day and try to do good habits to get a better sleep. Do what makes you happy first thing. Sometimes we can feel that we are spending our days on an autopilot, and that can get serious and depressing. So start your day with a positive note by engaging yourself in a positive activities every day morning. At last, I would just like to say that give yourself a break. Stop beating yourself up. Everyone makes mistakes, has setbacks and failures. Don't come up with a book to how to don't come up with a book to how to get everything right every time. You will fail sometimes, but not just because you have planned to, just because you are human. Failure is a part of creating a great life. Thank you and have a nice day. This is all from JV Jasola Vihar.
Thank you. Now let's have Devi Sonipat to share their views.
Creating a healthy mindset is an investment in your overall well-being. Good evening to all present here. I am Diksha of CAG Sonipat, where we came to know about indicators of mental health. Now let's know how to attain a good mental health. Talk about your feelings. Accept who you are. Keep in touch. Ask for help. Breathing exercises. Drink sensibly. Eating a balanced and healthy meal. Taking a break when you need to. Getting a good night's sleep can be help in boosting your mental health. Learn to manage stress. Build up your confidence. Be comfortable in your own skills. Set realistic goals and deal with tasks one at a time. Basics for child's good mental health. Learning new skills. Unconditional love from family. Self-confidence and high esteem, opportunity to play with other children, safe and secure surroundings, appropriate guidance and discipline. There should be school mental health promotion activities, mental health intervention in workplace, including programs to prevent and reduce workplace stress. Well, when I is replaced by we, even illness becomes wellness. Well, thank you for being such a generous audience. That's all from DAV Sonipat.
Thank you. Now I would request the speakers of DAV Dwarka to take the discussion ahead.
Good evening. I am Srija Magal of ML Khanna DAV Public School. Today I am going to give my opinion on how to attain mental well-being. In India, since historic and prehistoric times, Indians have been practicing yoga, meditation, and medicines. Who do you think this is all for? What do you think this is all for? This is for the mental peace of an individual. Earlier, Gurukuls were also there to develop the individual to go through any type of hardship he or she may face in life. Mental health can also be improved by implementing more healthy food in one's diet. There is evidence that shows that eating clean helps us to manage our emotions. A person may feel down for some time, but if that feeling stays for long, then it is time to seek help, whether you like it or not. This help may be in the form of counseling sessions, therapies, or even medicines. Don't look at what others are doing. Just keep on doing what you love. Stay with the people who make you happy. Do not ever give up on any tough situation and do not let your mind be dominated by ego, negative thoughts, and illogical thoughts. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. According to me, the best way to attain mental well-being is by spending time with friends and family. Being socially connected to others can boost mental well-being. We need to take a break from our regular routine and spend time with nature. Listening to music is a great stress buster. We should take steps to limit our social media engagement. I would like to end by saying a quote. When I is replaced by we, even illness becomes wellness. Thank you, and that's all from DAV Dwarka.
Thank you. Now let's hear the opinions of DAV Chandigarh.
Someone well said, acquiring and gaining physical well-being, mental calm, and spiritual peace are priceless to their possessors, meaning obtaining and gaining physical well-being, mental calm, and spiritual peace are priceless to their owners. Good evening, esteemed teachers and my batchmates. I, Sambhavi, will reply to the question, how to attain mental well-being. Attaining mental well-being is not a difficult task. Taking some steps like getting plenty of sleep, eating well, avoiding drugs, smoke, and hard drinks, getting into the practice of doing yoga and other physical activities, enjoying ourselves and our life, and connecting to people can take us forward towards mental well-being. Ways to reduce mental illness like listening to music, knowing ourselves and loving ourselves, cycling, walking, gardening, and dancing have been proved to reduce mental illness. Now, I would like to raise my topic and I would like Navya to take it forward.
Good evening, esteemed teachers. Now, I, Navya, will tell you some ways to attain mental well-being. First, talk about your feelings. Talking about your feelings can help you stay in good mental health and deal with times when you feel troubled. Treat yourself with kindness, respect, and avoid self-criticism. Make time for your hobbies and favorite projects. Learn how to deal with stress. Stress is a part of life. Practice good coping skills. Try exercise, take a nature walk, and try journal writing as a stress reducer. Also remember to smile and see humor in life. And the most important thing, get help when you need it. Seeking help is a sign of strength, not a weakness. It is important to remember that treatment is effective. People who get appropriate care can recover from mental illness and addiction. Connect with other people. Good relationships are important for your mental well-being. Make plans with supportive family members and friends, or seek out activities where you can meet new people. That's all from DAV 15. Thank you.
Now, I would request the participants of DAV Narela to share their suggestions with all of us.
Good evening, everyone. Today, I, Megha of DAV Narela, will express my views on how one can attain mental well-being or how we can nurture child's mental health. What mental health needs is more sunlight, more candor, and more unshamed conversation. There are many ways which we can inculcate for good mental health, like sleep affects our physical and mental health and can be the first thing we trade in when we get busy or stressed. Balanced life is important, so taking time out for the things you enjoy can make a difference to how you think and feel. Our physical and mental health is closely linked. Adding exercise and nutritious food to your diet can make you feel better. Learning improves our mental fitness, and taking it on a new challenge can build confidence and give you a sense of achievement. Children are the future of this country, so it's significant to take care of their mental health. There are some ways by which we can nurture child's mental health. Help children build strong and caring relationships. Ensure that they are not under any kind of pressure. Give them more space in the family. Help children develop self-esteem so that they can feel good about themselves. There are also small things which can help us to improve mental well-being. Eating fresh fruits and vegetables can help you to nurture your mind and body. Combination of smell, sound and colors. Thus, outdoor helps to stimulate our senses and improves mental well-being. Physical activities also play a key role in maintaining good mental health. Group activities like yoga, outdoor games also encourage you to relax and switch off from external stress. Now, I would like to end my conversation with a beautiful thought. Mental health is not a destination but a process. Mental health is not a destination but a process. It's about how you drive, not where you are going. So this was all from our school DAV Narela on how one can attain mental well-being. Thank you.
Thank you. Now let's move ahead to round 2, interaction. Now you all are free to ask questions to each other. Please put your questions along with your name and your school's name in the chat box. Your questions will be taken up one by one by the moderator.
We have many questions in the chat box. We are going to take as many as possible. The first question for the interaction round is, how does materialism act as an invader of mental well-being? I would like one member.
I, Shruti of DAV Public School, Jasola Vihar, want to answer this question. May I?
You can go ahead.
Materialism acts as an invader of mental well-being because a materialistic person is always engaged in earning money because he is always worried about his wealth, his possession. So it messes the happiness within him and his peace of mind. It depletes the satisfaction, creates discontentment within him, and of course it creates anxiety and it may make him depressive. Thank you.
Thank you for answering. The next question is, what is the difference between mental illness and mental health? I would like one participant from DAV Jasola to answer this question. Anyone else who wants to answer this question?
May I?
Yes.
From DAP Dwarka.
Harishta Jaswal of DAV 15.
Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay. Mental health is defined by the
May I?
World Health Organization as a state of well-being in which an individual realizes his or own potential, can cope with normal stresses of life, can work productively and fruitful, and is able to make a contribution to their community. Whereas mental illness is different from mental health. Mental illness includes a range of conditions for which there are standard criteria used to diagnose them, such as depression, anxiety, and substance use disorders. A mental illness significantly affects how a person feels, thinks, behaves, and interacts with other people. Thank you.
The next question is, how can school promote good mental health? I would like one participant from DAV Chandigarh to answer this question.
Making students aware about mental illness and taking certain programs can can help children get rid of mental illness, like getting them into activities like gardening, physical activities like yoga, and also telling them about loving yourself and knowing yourself and how are you unique.
Thank you for sharing your views. The next question is, how can one detach from social sites and mobile phones in the situation when everything goes around mobile phone only? I would like one participant from DAV Narela to answer this question. Any other participant who wishes to answer this question? Yes, you can go ahead.
we uh, we don't need to be a couch potato and sit in front of that mobile phone and be a computer work, but always, and we should engage ourselves in other hobbies, in other activities like playing music and singing, dancing, and we have studies also. So if we are doing beneficial things with those phones and the laptops, then it's quite good. But using that phone for extra things, that's not good. So we should try to engage our mind in some other work when.
Very well answered. Well, that's all for the introduction round. I thank all of you for sharing your views for the questions.
Now let's begin the third round. Sharing my learning. 2-3 speakers from each school are requested to share their reflections with all of us. I would request DAV Jasola to start the proceedings.
I should speak of DAV Public School want to answer this because I have realized many things after this, because we should be connected, we should be happy in our life, we should be mentally tough by guiding our behavior, dealing with our problems. We should stay connected with our family and friends. We should not be depressive. If we have mental illness, we should raise our voice instead of hiding it. Thank you.
I would like to add some points too.
Yeah,
So
sure.
I learned many things from this webinar. I learned to be a confident every time. I am now I think that mental well-being acts as play a very important role, and it's like according to our mental well-being, how the different things are to of our life are related, and uh, it because of this well-being we are able to achieve our, and we can be a successful person only if we have a good mental well-being. So this topic of this mental health that encouraged me very much, and I learned a lot of things.
Thank you for sharing your views. Now let's hear the learning of DAV Sonipat.
I learned that the mental well-being is very important for us. It includes of our school studies also, because if we are not feeling well, how we can go school and how we can make good in our future. We should more we should laugh with our friends. We should eat healthy food, because it is very important. We should not get negatively thoughts our mind. Only positive thoughts we can change our future. Thank you.
Now I would request the participants of DAV Dwarka to respond.
Good evening, everyone. Now, I, Chehek from DAV Dwarka, will be sharing my views on this webinar. Today, through this webinar, we learned about an indispensable topic that makes a person realize his or her full potential. So, first of all, I'm very much thankful for I got this wonderful opportunity to learn and explore my inner self. And I agree with Avika from DAV Jasola that a healthy mind resides in a healthy body. Today, we realized that our mental well-being holds equal importance as our physical well-being. It is necessary for a person's as well as community's development and growth. If a person is mentally healthy, then only he or she can work efficiently. During this pandemic, the rank of people who are alone, stressed, or are going through depression has increased. They require proper information and require adequate treatment for their condition. There are many ways to attain mental well-being, out of which many can be taken into play with the comfort of our home and may not even cost a penny. So, I would like to conclude myself by a well-said quote. Nothing in this world can torment you as much as your own thoughts. Thank you. Over to you, Harsh.
Good evening, everyone. Through this conference and preparing for it, the thing that I have learned is that being mentally well is equally important as being physically well. The thing that I was surprised to know was that how being socially connected to others boosts mental well-being. And I would also like to state here that excessive use of social media can harm our mental well-being. At the end, I would like to say that being mentally well is important and beneficial for an individual, his family, and ultimately his society and community. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I would like to invite the participants of DAV Chandigarh to share their feedback.
First of all, it was a great exposure for all of us, and I've learned a lot of things like how to be confident in front of people, how to deliver a speech in front of people, and also like good mental health is about living your life full. It's about being socially connected and having fulfilling social relationships, feeling good about your life, and setting goals and being able to make decisions in your life. So, thank you.
Thank you. Now I would like to call the participants of DAV Narela to share their experience of the webinar.
Good evening, everybody. Today, Sakshi Khatri of TV Narela wants to share my views on this learning. This program came as so helpful for me. I'm sure it will be similar helpful for every single person present here. This is a fantastic resource for those who suffer from mental distresses, depressions, anxieties, and another such types of problems. There are a number of perspectives on mental health that are covered in the program. Information is presented in simple plain English and complex concepts explained thoroughly. I highly enjoyed it. It was informative and well structured. Different ideas of each individual gave me a further understanding of mental illness and also gave me a clear understanding of what mental health is and how one can overcome them. The material is useful not only for those who are affected but also for self-awareness and care. Thank you.
I appreciate the program for providing useful and informative content. The program enhanced everyone's understanding on mental health. Also, the event was properly organized. All of us came to know about the different perspectives of mental health. Such events of exchanging ideas should be promoted and organized timely. Also, I am feeling extremely happy and satisfied after being enrolled in such a helpful program. Thank you.
A photograph, it is not just an image. It is a world of our beautiful memories. With this, I request all of you to turn on your cameras for a group photograph. And I will stop sharing my screen.
Thank you, everyone. Now you can switch off your camera.
Now, let's have a Padlet session. You all are requested to describe this webinar in a word or two and put it on the Padlet with your name along with your school's name using the link provided in the chat box. Please share your valuable feedback with us.
You all can use this plus icon to add your comment. I request all of you to also mention the name of your school along with your name. I request everyone present here to join the Padlet and share your views. I request more participants to share their feedback with us. The Padlet looks beautiful. I thank all of you for sharing your valuable feedback with us. May I now request my friend Samriddhi to propose the vote of thanks.
I, Samriddhi Gurja, on ML Khanna, DAV Public School, would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to all the dignitaries and the participants present here. I must mention a deep sense of appreciation the webinar with her presence and valuable guidance. Here, I would like to quote the words of Martin Luther King. An individual has not started living until he rises above the confines of his individualistic concerns to the broader concerns of all humanity. Once again, I thank you all for making this webinar a resounding success.
Now, I request all of you to join your hands and close your eyes for the Shanti part.
शान्तिरन्तरिक्षद्वम् शान्ति पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिरोषधयः शान्तिः वनस्पतयः शान्तिर्विश्वे देवाः शान्तिर्ब्रह्म शान्तिः सर्वगं शान्ति शान्तिरेव शान्तिः सामा शान्तिरेधि ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
With this, I want to thank all of you for being a part of this webinar. I wish you a very happy Independence Day again. Now, you all are requested to hang up.